What's up, fam? It's your boy Lou Congo here. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all are having a good day, good time wherever you at. Today I want to talk about why I moved to Kenya. A lot of people ask me the same question. Why is it that you would move to Kenya? Why won't you just live in America instead? So I figured I'd go ahead and let you know my experiences in Kenya, which made me want to live in Kenya. So first, I came to Kenya back in October. Now, my experience is going to be a lot of different from a person who just came here by themselves, simply because my girl is Kenyan and we've been dating for a few months before I even visited the first time. So she set everything up, like getting the Airbnb, the groceries and whatnot. She picked me up from the airport, so I didn't really have to manage by myself. I didn't have to do anything by myself because she was there. But if I were to come here by myself, I mean, they have Uber. Uber is a thing here. You can use Bolt. Bolt is another thing that they use here. So it's not hard to get around in Kenya. Everybody here speaks English, depending on where you come from. If you like me, I'm a Floridian. You feel me? So a lot of the times I talk with a real Southern accent. They really don't understand that. But you gotta put on that voice to make them understand. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The same voice we pretty much gotta use when we have jobs, so people can understand us. Most Americans understand us though, but it's just they're not used to hearing that around here. So the first trip was amazing. We went to Mombasa for a week, had a blast out there. We stayed in Nairobi for 4 weeks. We was in the Kilimani area. We stayed there for 4 weeks, and I loved it. The food, the people. I mean, everybody treats you like family here. It wasn't no thing to where I had to worry about, oh, is this person gonna do something or is this person gonna say something? It wasn't nothing like that. Um, Definitely the first trip it opened my eyes to the potential that Kenya has, because everywhere you see there's building going on. They're building up Kenya. Kenya is really getting built up, and that is a true sign that the economy is going to start going up. Right now, I guess for the Kenyans, I'm not quite sure because I my money comes from America, so I mostly pay attention to our economy. But you know, here in Kenya, it's a little harder. Well, it is harder for the Kenyans because of how their economy is doing and everything. But as far as for me though, living here with American money, like it's you live like a king. That's why a lot of Kenyans don't understand. They're like, well, why would you want to live here? Why would you come to a place like Kenya? But you got to understand, Kenya is like a gold mine when you got money. But I would never come to Kenya and try to get a job here. That I wouldn't do because they don't pay enough for me because I'm American, and my job, I'm a merchant marine, so I merchant mariner to say, I sail. So anything about merchant mariners, we make a lot of money, and it's easy for me to travel in and out of places. So I decided, Kenya is going to be the place for me. I like the shopping. Like I said, there's always things to do in Kenya. One thing that I love about Kenya that I can say that they have America beat in is where I'm from. I'm from Florida, 904 area, really a country town called Middleburg. But for you to get a better understanding, is Jacksonville. Because anything that you want to do, you have to go to either Jacksonville or like Orange Park or maybe like St. Augustine, these different areas around Middleburg. Middleburg, the country, ain't really too much to do out there. So, but when you go to the club here, people party all night to 6 in the morning. You got places in America that does that as well. The difference I can say is I'm not nervous when I'm in clubs here. In America, y'all know what go down, especially when you a person like me. I like clubbing with my people, black folks, but niggas do not know how to act in America when you in the club. I promise you, because if you step on somebody fresh shoes on accident, you might get killed. A nigga might shoot you. Like, and I'm not over exaggerating nothing. A nigga might literally kill you because he feels like that his shoes being clean is more valuable to him than you breathing air. I'm not even joking at all. The club scene here is definitely different than America, though. Most clubs serve food. Most clubs are like lounges. They serve food. We have lounges, but the vibe, the atmosphere, everything is still different. So I think Kenya has a leg up when it comes to partying, even though I'm not really a big party type person. I don't really care for going out, but that's still a plus. There's always something to do. And if you're making American dollars, I mean, you could have a blast for like $30. $30, that'll take you and your old lady. Y'all could go kart ride and go get something quick to eat. You know what I'm saying? Unless you like doing fancy things, which really I like. I keep that standard where, I was doing things in America or these other countries, and I do it here as well. But what would cost me about maybe $150 date in America, here I can get it for about 40, maybe $60, depending on what I want to do. So that's another thing because I like to get more bang for my buck. Um, Eggs are cheaper, groceries are cheaper, period. But it also depends on what you are buying. Because if you buy like imported, if everything is imported, of course it's going to be more. But if you're buying from, because like everywhere you go, there's going to be stands and people selling fruit, vegetables, meat. You go to the butcher, get you some meat. That's what me and my girl likes to do for the most part. Go to the butcher. We might get some rice from the butcher, get some veggies, and then stop at the store, get some eggs. So for like one meal that she will cook for the both of us, that we could probably get about 2 plates a piece from, it'd cost me around 10, maybe $15, maybe less, because I'm not quite sure. What I'll do for you guys is later on when I'm gonna do a show where we go grocery shopping, and I'm gonna break down the price of everything. Now, the one thing that I can say about my experience in Kenya is that I don't like is the way that they drive. Okay, so when you're from the West and you got certain places like, because I've been in Australia, I've been in Japan, Singapore, Thailand. Thailand is a little like Kenya, but not too much. But these certain places like that, when you drive, the driver has to look and see who's in front of them, if it's a person, if it's a car, and they have to, it's all about, okay, I'm here, but I don't want to cause an accident. So if somebody's trying to merge in, I'm gonna let them merge in. If somebody's trying to turn, our rules of the road is you're supposed to let the person turn in. You're supposed to. It's about the other people. It's about when you're a driver in America, you have to pay attention to the other people so you don't cause a wreck. Not everybody does that, but that's what you're supposed to do. Here in Kenya, when they drive, it's more of it seems like the drivers take a role of, I'm driving, so you better get out my way because I'm not moving. And they're like, if you're crossing the street, they're not slowing down when they see you crossing the street. They gunning it. If you're trying, if you need to get over, they're just gonna merge. They're not gonna. It seems like blinkers don't exist out here. Like the way these people drive is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. The first 2 weeks in Kenya, I had to keep my head down, literally, because I was so scared. I couldn't look. I was just paranoid. I'm like, why are they? Sometimes you might be driving down the road this way and you'll look and the car will be coming head on to you. And like, I'm looking at the driver and this nigga still driving and he's speeding up, the other car speeding up. I'm like, is anybody gonna slow down and let a person move? So that's one thing I hate. But it takes some getting used to it. I'm pretty used to it now. Now I've been living in Kenya for almost 2 months. Um, the roads, not everywhere you go is gonna have good roads. You're gonna have roads that like you doing this the whole time, like you just in the car, you shaking. They call it the African massage. We have certain places in America that the roads aren't very up to par. I know when I was in Virginia, the roads are pretty terrible in Virginia. I'm not gonna lie. Florida, the roads are pretty decent. We even have dirt roads, but they're still not as messed up as the dirt roads in Africa. So that's another thing that I don't like, but I don't really, that doesn't really bother me. The begging. Uh, we have beggars in America, but the beggars here is something different, but I definitely understand that people are in a hard situation, and sometimes a person might be trying to get food just to feed their family for that day. So I definitely understand, and I help out sometimes, but not every day because then I'm gonna just be broke. But I can say that out of all the countries that I travel to, Kenya does not have the worst beggars. The worst beggars I've ever seen was in Greece. It was crazy. We was in Suda Bay, Greece, and them beggars is on a whole nother level. But that's a story for another time. Um, like I said, the people are friendly. The place I live in, I pay less than $400 a month for. It's nice, 2 bedroom, very spacious. I stay on the 4th floor, which in America would be considered the 5th floor because our first floor is the ground floor most of the time. And then you go from the ground floor, that's one, two, three, four. Here it's the ground floor, then one, then two, then three. So we live on the 4th floor. It's not too bad. I like it. The problem is like the place that we stay at, the Chinese own it. They built it, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Chinese, but a lot of the times when they build things out here, the Chinese made products are like are somewhat not really good. Um, like our water heater broke within like 2 months, and it's almost like a toy. It's just very plastic. It's not like how in America we have like the big water heaters that's like metal, and a lot of times that's gonna last you. Like here they give you a 6 month warranty. Like who gives you a 6 month warranty? Like at least you get like a year or 5 year warranty. But these are the cards that are dealt, and this is what you got to do. But rent's not expensive. Electricity is not as expensive in America. Water bill's not very expensive. I live in a gated community with CCTV. They have security, so I like where I stay. I live close to the airport. Very beautiful. I am going to be traveling more around Kenya to get a better feel of everything because I can't wait till I go to the village, especially my girl. I want to go to the village and see her peoples, the elders or whatnot, because I take this relationship pretty serious. I'm not like a passport bro who's out here hunching. I mean, I could have did that, but that I just don't feel. I'm 35. You feel me? I'm trying to get married and have kids and all that, so that ain't my thing. But hey, the more power to you though, because there is some hoes out here and they do like passport bro. So if you out here and you trying to get your passport bro on, trust they gonna get some bread out your ass. Believe that. You definitely gonna spend some money. But even that, the money's not that much. Like our money goes a long way. So 1,000 Kenyan shilling is like a roughly around maybe $8, $9, but you could do a lot with 1,000 Kenyan shillings. I mean, you ain't finna like buy up the mall or nothing, but you can definitely do a lot. Now they do have malls out here. They got Sarit, Gateway Mall. There's a couple more I don't really know of. Like Sarit is like a mall you would see in America for sure. But personally, I like CBD. That's where my girl likes going. That's where I like going. CBD. I like being around my people. Me being an African American, I don't say Black American because they didn't start calling us Black Americans in America until they start to try to separate us from the Africans. The moment we were uh, African Americans was to separate us from the Americans. You're not American, you're African American. And then now, once African Americans start going to Africa and we started having more business, now they're saying, well, no, you're not African American, you're Black American. Like, bro, my peoples, my descendants are from Africa. This is home. These are my people. They might have came from West Africa, but I look at all Africans as my people, Kenyans included, and I love it out here. Um, I would suggest everybody come to Kenya to if it's your first time, because I've heard that it is harder to I guess, get acclimated to certain places like Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, because they're not really built up like Kenya is. Nairobi, from what I hear, is like the New York City of Africa, and I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it for sure. Nairobi has the potential. Oh my, you have to see it to understand the potential that Nairobi has. It's different than most African places, but I've never been to most African places either. So my first plan was to go to Uganda, but then after doing research about the people, about the way they do business, certain other things, I realized that Kenya was the best bet for me because I wasn't finna deal with none of that. So Kenya, people out here, I'm not saying in Uganda people are hard workers. I'm definitely not. I'm not saying that in no other place that they are not hard workers. I just know that these Kenyans, they bust their ass. I'm not gonna lie. But that is another thing that I can say that I don't like about Kenya. You are they will for the most part call you brother and all that there and the third, but they're gonna hit you with Mzungu prices. Mzungu is like white man. They're gonna hit you with Mzungu prices. So if something costs 100 Kenyan shillings, they're gonna try to hit you for about 350, maybe four, maybe even five. You feel me? But like I said, my girl's Kenyan. She don't play that. She ain't finna as soon as nah, she ain't gonna play that. You feel me? So get you a Kenyan if you out here either as a friend or whatever, get you somebody that you know can take you around, show you around. So when you do these things and you go to these places, you don't have to worry about getting hit with Mzungu prices or whatnot. So you'll be solid. Um, some people don't do business good out here. I'm not gonna lie. Some people they just suck at business. But hey, that's not a Kenyan thing. That I would say that's just certain people just can't do business. Because even in America, there's a lot of black owned businesses that I would love to contribute in, but them niggas, they don't do business right and they expect you just to do business with them because they black. Hey, that's another thing about African Americans. We be hitting our own people with Mzungu prices. I'm not even gonna lie. I had African Americans out here trying to sell me services like, hey, do you know where I can get this from? Oh, if you call me, I can set up a consultation. That's one of the services I offer. Nigga, can you just point me in the right direction? You want me to pay you to tell you some what? So and then they come out here and they complain that the locals do the same thing. Like, bro, that's just a thing we do. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mess with people like that. So if you gonna hit me with the Mzungu prices, I'm just not gonna shop with you because I know the difference now. But that is what it is. It's not certain something that I can say that I hate because I go through this being in different countries. Like I say, and being a merchant mariner, I travel the world a lot, so I see a lot of different countries. And I can say in like Thailand, they definitely try to hit you with Mzungu prices as well, but it's not as bad as it is in Kenya. In Thailand, if you let them know you hip to it, like, come on, man, you paying too much. Because they trying to get that money. Kenya, they will literally let money walk away, which is crazy. If I'm not, if it's 500 shillings and you're trying to charge me 800, like I got the 500 shillings. I will give you the 500 shillings right now, but they will literally let you walk away with money. Like I don't understand that. Like you say you're hurting and you need money. Like, oh, I need the money bad. But why won't you take the 500? Because you're not going to get. So you're trying to make an extra 300 shilling profit for something. Well, literally, you're about to make zero. I don't. I don't know. That's different because me, I'm gonna get that bread any way, shape, or form. Um, Stuff like clothes, beddings, couches, furniture, stuff like that is very inexpensive in Kenya. Even to get custom made, it is very inexpensive. Now, where they gonna get you at is they gonna get you on the electronics. You gonna pay way more for electronics in Kenya than you will in America. It is way more here. Number one, because of the import taxes. Kenya has a lot of taxes, but that's because in the past their leaders took major loans out from like the World Bank and all that, and they got to pay it back. The only way you got to pay it back is to tax the citizens. And I know a lot of Kenyans, they don't like the tax, but it's like, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the government itself. I don't really pay too much attention to it. Like I say, I'm American. I am paying more attention to it now, So I don't know the ins and outs. It's better for a Kenyan to tell you because they will be able to tell you. That's one thing that I can say that it is definitely a thing as well. Their government is corrupt, but we'll tell you, like, I've had Kenyans say, well, I want to go to America because the government isn't corrupt. And I laugh my ass off because all Americans, we know how corrupt our government is. It's just not in your face like it is out here. African corruption is like in your face. American corruption looks like help. See what I'm saying? So it looks like help. So when Americans are coming to help you, best believe they finna take some shit. It's never help. But yeah, man. So that's pretty much it for my experiences dating out here. I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I met my girl online and we started talking for a while. Then we started dating online and we've been locked in ever since. We're actually about to be 1 year together in July. So I mean, I can't really necessarily talk on that. I do know a lot of guys say that the women here are better to date. They say they're easier to date than America. And they say that they make better wives than women in America, which is funny to me because though none of these niggas who say they got a wife or even a girlfriend, y'all niggas out here hoeing. And you just mad because you can't do it in America like you can do out here. But it's all good. More power to you. But yeah, so for the most part, Kenya is a lovely place, lovely people. The weather's perfect for me, and my experience so far has been nothing but good. The bad doesn't really get to me too much because I adapt very quickly. But hey, certain people are gonna have different stories because they're not with Kenyans. It might be African American couples that are here. They're gonna have a different story than me. Or if you're here and you're single, you're gonna have a different story than me. But like I said, for the most part, I haven't really seen too many people that had a bad story to say about Kenya. Everybody seemed to love it, and I love it as well. I plan on making this my home. I'm in the midst right now of working on getting my 5 year visa. Um, and yeah, so pretty much that's it. That's all I got for you guys right now. So if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to this channel, share it to get these views up. I'm trying to get this channel popping, so let y'all know how I'm doing in Kenya. For the most part, I'll be in Kibera a lot, helping out with Soccer Samaritan Initiative. Other than that, I'll be at home cranking beats, or at the gym with my baby, and we be doing our thing. You feel me? So if you got any questions or if you want to say, ask me anything or tell me anything, or if you have a comment that you just want to add a comment below and holla at your boy.